When I started a little over 7 years ago, um, I was told by leaders in Whatcom County that we would not be able to build a diverse team on the ACH up here in the North Sound region, that we had to go to King County in order to do that. And it's been an amazing journey, and I'm gonna pick on like Tiffany and Nicole, mostly because they've been here. Tiffany was here before me, Nicole's been here for about 6 years. Because we made a commitment that we actually could do this. We could build a team, we could get tables like this together, even though folks told us we couldn't. And so I just want to thank you all very, very much for being a part of that, and this team for trusting us to join in this journey as we move along. And we've got some board members in the room, so would some board members mind standing up? Wait a minute. Did anybody stand up? Because I couldn't tell. We've got a handful of board members in the room. And so we were trying to think like what would be a good way to do a closing for today and to kind of get you ready for tomorrow. And so Jason McGill agreed to be part of our closing. We're really excited. Jason is one of 4 people who just got elected to our board at our December board meeting. Come on. And I'm gonna say it's been like 2-ish years then since you and I just like periodically like have a bit of a love fest, because the thing that I love about Jason is he's a love warrior. And we've been trying to figure out how do we lead with love. And so it's just been this wonderful synergistic space to be in. And to now have Jason be one of my bosses is kind of like a cool thing. Because I feel like somebody's going to say, like, so how are you doing that, Liz? And, we're going to make it real. But Jason agreed to be part of our closing. And I have no idea if you're going to take 5 minutes or 20 minutes, or if you're going to ask people. You and I chatted, but I have no idea what you're doing. So, but, when we get done, when Jason gets done, and Remy, thank you for being up here. This is awesome. We just encourage you to please hang out with us. We're not going to be like throwing you out of the room or out of the building or anything like that. But just really appreciate, I have to say for like the last 5 years, I've told anybody who asks, I have the best board. And for somebody who has been on boards for 30 years, and I have reported to boards for 30 years, I have the best board. The ACH has the best group of people who are on this board. And that also takes work to build that. So I'm really grateful to all of our board members for their work in trying to build the kind of board that's going to help do the work that you all are doing. So thank you. This is going to be the last time you hear my voice, so I'm going to let you close it up. Thank you.
Remy, do you want to help me?
Yes. Anything. Yeah. Anything you do is good.
I also think that I have the best board at my organization at Northwest Youth Services. Yes. When I was asked to help close out today, first there was just so many thoughts that came rushing through, and I didn't know exactly what to say. And then today, listening to everyone and just being a part of this community today, just the one thing that I can say that how I wanted to close this out is really just talking about love. Love really activates me. It's a thing that maybe some people think is a little woo-woo, but I think it's the one thing that will solve things that are happening in our world today, in our different communities and things like that. And then Q, where did they go to? Just ended on that poem honoring your grandmother. And I do want to honor my grandmother right now as well. My grandmother is still with us. However, as I was back there brainstorming things, I learned that she's going into hospice right now. So if you don't mind, if you can just help me out right now, because I don't want to get up here. I don't want to get up here and get emotional because I'm supposed to close this out with a happy note. But my grandmother, we called her Mama Jane. We call her Mama Jane because, again, she's still with us. Talk about a legacy that you wrote for your grandmother. And I just thought it was so beautiful and just resonated with me in that moment. And I'm just really appreciative. It was just the timing. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how beautiful is this, you know? So I know I will have to go home soon, back to West Virginia. That's where I'm from. And Remy, he's came up here with me because I just let him know the news, and he's going to help me close it out. So Liz, I thank you to you and your team for really just like giving me an opportunity to help close this day out with y'all. And I apologize in advance for not for bringing you up here, but you know, I don't even know what to say. But like, the one thing I do want to say before I pass it to Remy, and thank you, Remy, for taking this on and just sharing your wisdom with us, is at Northwest Youth Services, we really talk about love a lot. We talk about being a love warrior. And one of the things for 2024 that I wanted to adopt and really get back to is, like I said, love activates me. When I talk about it, when I lean into it, it activates me. Because, again, I know there's justice within love. And one of my favorite quotes by Martin Luther King is, I think that I have discovered the highest good, and it is love. And at Northwest Youth Services, the theme today is putting love into action. It's really what I heard throughout the day today. It's putting love into action. And every single one of your organizations, regardless of where you're at within that organization, you're here and you're putting love into action. And the people that you're serving are going to be better because you're putting love first. You're centering love. And that's really important in this work that we all do. No matter what the type of work you're doing it out of love. And that is really important. And at Northwest Youth Services, we have this whole Love Warrior initiative, campaign, whatever we want to call it. But what is a Love Warrior? A Love Warrior is an individual deeply committed to their community, someone who directly supports the eradication of all the tools that upholds and perpetuates white supremacist culture. That's what a Love Warrior is to us. You all are Love Warriors. You're putting things into action. You're putting solutions forward. That's, again, the common theme that I heard today. And that's really important, to put action first, right? To put things into action, because otherwise we're just going to stay and perpetuate the white supremacist culture that we were all conditioned to work within. It's really important that we continue to act in love, and so I'm getting emotional again, so I'm going to have to stop. Again, I apologize, but I also know that this is the group that if I can get emotional with, you all will just show nothing but love and support from me, so thank you.
Okay. One, I want to say, Jason, and to everybody in this room, you never have to apologize for being human, because showing emotion and emotional intelligence is the direct counter to white supremacy. And I think a lot of us get caught up in people that we work with, and we, of course, establish boundaries. But one of those boundaries should not be preventing us from seeing each other as human. I wanna try something real quick. I'm gonna invite everybody to close your eyes and think about someone, whether that's a family member or whoever that first person was that popped into your mind. Just close your eyes and imagine them right next to you. You could be resting your head on their shoulder. You could be laughing or crying. Or it could be silent. Go ahead and open your eyes now. You don't have to raise your hand, but how many saw their parents? How many saw a sibling? How many saw someone they met here today? And how many saw their younger self? I'm going to close with the thought that the time you just took to sit with whoever that person was is one of the most radical and powerful things you can do during your day. White supremacy and culture today tells us that we need to follow someone else's time. So whenever you have a moment, sit with that person and take that power back. Thank you.